Amy Derwanz, nice to meet you again. And you're lining up for Grapple Worlds 2 on Saturday, the 28th of March, up at Kassam Stadium. How are you feeling about all of the kind of upcoming events?
I'm really excited about all the upcoming events because it has been some time since I have been in any sort of event. And yeah, as much as I needed that time off for my recovery and all that sort of stuff, I'm more than ready to just get back into doing what I'm used to doing. It feels so weird to be going back, but feels right at the same time.
Good. Okay, let's recap what's been happening for you because there has been so much over the last number of months, together with kind of camps and a new Jiu Jitsu school and injury. So let's talk about this.
Yeah, so at like the start of last year, roughly, I signed up for Kairos Invitational, and then while I was preparing for that, I ended up injuring my back quite badly. There was time I was genuinely struggled walking, and I still actually can't feel certain parts of my leg, which is kind of crazy. But
Gosh.
training's a lot like more regular now. I can actually roll properly. I can lift weights again. But that just absolutely took it out of me. Even coaching was really, really hard.
Yeah.
And during that time, I'd opened up rollers in about June. So a few months after getting in, like around that
Yeah.
time, well, the thing was with the injury, it was a bit of an up and down. So I thought I was okay. And then I pushed it, and I still competed twice while injured. But then the final competition I did kind of just topped me off, and I was like, right, we need a
Yeah.
break. So
Yeah.
yeah, been at rollers for like maybe 7 months now. We're on to our third Queen Rollers camp as well, I've got another one coming up really soon. So yeah, life has literally just
Fab.
been recovery, teaching, and getting back to training basically. It's been lovely.
I love it. You know, those of us that fill our lives with lots of different activities seem to do it seamlessly, as if we've always done these things. And sometimes to the outside world, it can look really overwhelming. But how have you managed all of those things? Because clearly you have really beautifully. But is there a structure? Is there a plan? How are you managing things?
So the big help is I'm not just running the gym by myself. So I actually run it with my dad mostly. So he's with me on the mats every night, sort of like co-coaching alongside. So especially when I was injured, I could be there and give
Yeah.
technique out and stuff, but then he could demonstrate it or help me if I needed it. There was a couple of times I was like, Dad, I've got to sit down, I can't carry on. Um, and just like having a good emotional support system around me, just like family and like my boyfriend, and just having just people that are just telling you like you're doing good, don't overthink it, and just
Yeah.
keep going forwards. Because I've definitely had times where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Wah, and you feel like you've taken on too much. But
Yeah.
usually if you slow down,
Yeah.
look back, I have my set days at rollers kind of. We don't do morning classes or anything because I need to prioritize my training. I still
Yeah.
teach yoga as well. I have 4 yoga classes a week that I teach as well. But the yoga can help me in my recovery naturally, doing it and teaching it. The coaching obviously keeps my brain always thinking about jiu-jitsu. Even when I'm not training, I'm still going over and figuring out new stuff. But yeah, it's just been a
Yeah.
structure trying to get back to training because I used to be at a gym all the time where we'd have like white to black belt on the mats, whereas now at my gym there's my dad and there's a few blue belts and stuff, but we're predominantly white belts, so I have to go and
Yeah.
make sure I do outsource some training and also get like coaching for me, which is good. My coach Danny Mitchell coaches at rollers on a Thursday night, so I can just pop down there and I can still get my technique and bits and bobs. But I've got a good support system with some gyms around the area that are always welcoming to me and are always willing to help me out if I've got any upcoming matches and questions. So I do feel looked after.
Good. Oh, fantastic. Now, you mentioned Mitchell. I'm not familiar with where you're based, Amy, but let's kind of hear about whereabouts you're based, because often getting to different events can take some
Yeah.
miles travel. But whereabouts are you in the UK?
So if I was talking to someone random, quite far out, I'd say Leeds, but I'm actually based more Wakefield, so we're in the WF postcode. That's where
Nice.
Rollers is in Normanton, which is very close to my town where I live. But I was based at AVT as a coach and a competitor for which is in Leeds for quite a while. But obviously with the move to rollers, I'm not really I train at AVT like once a week, still technically train under Danny, but a lot of my training is quite
Yep.
everywhere, basically just calling girls all the time like, will you come and beat me up please, will you come try leg lock me, do you
Nice.
know what I mean? So it's fun, but it's
Good.
it's all over the shop. There's not much of a I've got a few structured sessions, but the rest of it's just like who we
Yep.
can get, where we can get, and depending on what I'm trying to practice.
Good. Well, if any of you girls listening are in the Leeds area, um, go and leg lock
Please,
Amy in
please,
preparation for Grapple Worlds
just come
2.
out, try and wodge lock me, try and do
um,
anything you want. I'll get out of it. Got to try anyway.
Love it. We will reference your opponent in a minute. But you mentioned about slowing down and reflecting on how far you've
Mm.
come. Um, how is that all feeling? Because it does sound like life is incredibly busy, but there sounds to be some kind of pride and accomplishment in what you have achieved, even over the last 12 months.
Yeah, so I think when you're trying to do a million different things and they're all slowly picking up, but there's been nothing that's really taken off, can feel like you're doing a whole lot of nothing, or you're putting a lot of effort out and you're not getting a lot back yet. Um, so just trying to almost be like not being too hard on myself, because when you do that, you end up being very unproductive. So I'm like, no, well, you've done this so
Yeah,
far. It's all coming together. Running a gym, any gym owner will tell you it's not easy. And you sometimes think, oh, yeah, I'll have 50 students in 6 months. No, you won't, unless you're someone crazy. I don't know. But I've not, any gym owner, anyone that's opened up a
yeah,
gym around me recently, we all communicate a little bit and we all agree how hard it is. We're all giving each other
yeah.
advice or trying to ask for advice. Um, but
Nice.
which is nice because there is that support thing where there's been schools that have opened up like a bit further away and I'm friends with them, and it's nice to have that thing of like they go, oh, we're struggling with this, and you go, we are too. And
Yeah,
yeah, just not, I say, not getting too down on it, because like we've had the like my Queen Rollers camp that we've got coming up, we've had the most sign-ups yet. And I've got a few little things in the pipeline for it that we've never had before. Bit nervous about it, but it's come a long way since the first camp, and I'm like, just look back on that and
yeah,
be like, see, it's all going okay. We're
yeah,
getting there.
yeah.
But I think the back injury
I love
annoyed
it.
me.
I love the energy. Yes. Well, we'll focus on the
Yeah.
positive, and I'm pleased that you're
Yeah.
back out doing invitationals. But just to reflect on all of the fantastic things and the fact that you've gone out there, you've set up a school, you've set up a camp, and they're just continuing. So it's only going to
Yeah.
get better and better.
Exactly. That's it. So it's just nice to have them positive things going on, and the negatives are slowly just drizzling out, and we'll get back onto regular business.
Good. I also love hearing about the honesty, because some of us can kind of go through life and just pretend to be okay when life isn't, or things are a challenge. But actually, the more open communication that you're role modeling, not just for yourself and for people around you, but students coming through. So I guess having that open and honest conversation, if people are struggling, then equally, if you're demonstrating that struggle, people can feel more comfortable in approaching you in the first
Yeah,
place.
I definitely feel like what I'm proud about with rollers is that we do have quite a nice, helpful environment. Um, I think not because sometimes obviously like there's many, there's all this big thing in the sport about safe space for women, this, that, and the other, and it's really important. Like it is important that there's a safe space for women, obviously, but me being a woman at the front of a gym with a dad who's more than supportive, it's like it trickles down from the top. So if all the men are coming there to learn from a 60 odd kilo female, then you're just not going to have them negative vibes. And we've got quite a nice family vibe going on where people come in to train just because someone else is coming and they want to support them, even if they don't feel like it themselves. We had 2 guys compete on Empire who have only been training a very, very limited amount of time, and nearly the whole regular group turned up, wore all the kit and went to just support and watch them, which you don't usually get. So just seeing that and having everyone support each other makes me feel like what we are building up is a really positive addition to the community rather than something that could be negative, which there's been a lot of negativity in the community.
And so there has. I'm not going to skirt over that, but for now, let's. I think if you had 50 people in your school, you wouldn't be able to do that and kind of grow up the culture of, the whole team coming out to support 2 competitors, which is just great. You're starting the culture right from the very beginning, which is why I love hearing and speaking to people that are setting up kind of grassroots jiu-jitsu clubs, because the more the better. We can all share in the struggles and kind of events. But I notice Ellis is walking around in the background, and Grapple Worlds happens to be a place to talk about pets as well as competitors.
Yeah. So we've got Colin, who's always my biggest support. Always the happiest to see me. And then we've got Ellis in the background, and they get on sometimes not. But he also loves attention, so is here to say hi. Thanks, Colin.
Now, I'm not a pet person, but you described Colin as the jug, and I was like, what are you talking about, Amy? Now, please explain.
So Colin is Jack Russell and pug, so he generally has the attitude of a pug but the athleticism and the energy of a Jack Russell. So he's quite the mister, quite the handful, but in only the best way. He's the most kind, loving dog you could probably ask for. So, but yeah, he's got his little bow tie.
I love it.
And he'll get annoyed if you take it off him as well. He loves his bow tie. Can't take it off him.
Good. Well, we've heard from Dom with Barney, and we've heard from Robert with Ash. So now, Amy, you have Colin and Ellis.
I do. Grapplers need pets too.
This is a bit... They do. Maybe I'll transition one day.
Oh dear.
This is the Grapple Worlds podcast with me, Lee Temlett, coming to you from the UK. The sponsors of Grapple Worlds 2 are Zebra, Soul Taker Fightwear, Grapple App, Pure Recharge, 10th Planet Banbury, and 10th Planet Milton Keynes. Please go and follow them all over on Instagram. And as always, check out the clips over on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And go and buy your tickets for Grapple Worlds 2 over at grappleworlds.com. And there is an Eventbrite link. The event is on Saturday, the 28th of March, up at Kassam Stadium near Oxford. Today, I'm having a conversation with Amy Derwanz. Amy, so let's talk about your leg lock practice and your upcoming match with I-Know.
Yeah, so obviously it was put in a draw first, and then we got picked out together, which I've not really I've seen a little bit of Zoe before come up. I've never seen Suzanne come up, but I'd recently just travelled to 10th Planet Barcelona, where I'd just seen I-Know. I never trained with her, but I did see her at the gym. And then something said to me, you have a match against her, when I saw we were all on Grapple Worlds together and it was going to get drawn. But I've just been doing what I usually do. I never like to focus on my opponents too much, because it's about what I'm focusing on what I want to do, what submission I want to get you in, not what you're going to try and get me in.
Yep.
But you can never count anyone out, and you still got to prepare. So if I know someone's going to try a certain area, then I'll make sure I'm more scratched up. But I'm definitely not ignoring any other elements of jiu-jitsu. I'm still tackling into my wrestling, still focusing on guard, leg locks, passing. You know, it's a full game, and I'm going to be putting the match in the area that I'd like to put the match in, all being well.
Good.
But
I love hearing that, because you've got your own strategy, and the more I'm learning in jiu-jitsu, the more that you can play your own game and kind of manipulate your opponent into following your strategy rather than being drawn into their strategy. Do you think that's something really helpful for the rest of us to pick up on?
yeah, I think a lot of jiu-jitsu, I always say it's about deception. Everything has a counter. Everything. And if you know what I'm gonna do, you can stop it. Most people, especially once you get to like purple belt and above, no one's just easy. There's no one that has like a massive gap. But if I can make you believe I want to do something, I can deceive you to then switch to the next thing. That's where you catch people, because no one's just gonna mess up. No one's rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like you can be like,
Yeah.
oh, they'll just mess up here and I'll get that. You've got to be like, you've got to be sneaky, and you know, it's like chess, where you have to think a few steps in advance. But I think a lot of people focus more about their opponents too much, and worrying about what they're going to do rather than worrying about what you're going to do to them, and put them on the back foot rather than you feeling like you're on the back foot. So the leg locking is almost, practice is almost to just stay confident in my defense and even my attacks as well. But it's not because I'm worried and being thingy. It's purely just to make sure I'm scratched up, but my focus is on my game, not on her game, because if I win that match, I've still got another one. So, and
Yep.
she might be a completely different grappler, but if I want to win the whole thing, I've got to think more diversely. So think of it like a tournament where you don't really know what's going on, who you're fighting or matching against.
Yep.
Go in there and just try and do your own thing. I'm excited for.
Fab. It does sound very exciting. So at least 2 matches, maybe 3. Are we counting on out of you, Amy?
So I believe it's in that one. It's 2 matches at Grapple Worlds, isn't it? And then I've got obviously my match with Valhalla the week before, and then the week after, which is massive. I'm really looking forward to this Grapple Worlds match up though. It's my first time it's not the first time I've gone for a belt, but I've only been for a belt once in grappling, and that was during my injury and against a really, really, really skilled opponent.
Wow.
Now, as I say, I am not taking away the win from my opponent because of my injury, but there were a few things going on. That was my opportunity for a belt and I missed out. So I'm kind of like, I've been doing martial arts for about 18 years now and I still don't own a belt. So it's it's just a tangible item, but it's something that I just want. I just want a belt.
Good. I love it. And that kind of gives hope for any of the rest of us. There are more and more title matches in all of the different events, and some of these belts are just incredible. And I know some kind of younger athletes are coming through and winning title belts and defending them. But this is your first opportunity in 18 years for a title bout. It sounds incredibly exciting.
Well, I've had every time I've ever got to a title opportunity, something, whether it's MMA, every time I've had a title, that's when I'd lose, or title eliminators, and then something happens, and and you're just like, I can't get the ball rolling. Even when I've gone through my big competition, like at purple belt, I had a period of time where I absolutely just competed all the time. Even if I'd get gold in something, I'd never get a belt. So this is like one of my next.
This is going to be the one,
woman
Amy.
manifesting it. I can see it.
I love it. I love it. So you've got another match before that at Valhalla. That's kind of earlier in March. Is that going to be good preparation for Grapple Worlds too?
Yeah, so I'm thinking so, because it's been a while since I've competed. Obviously, Grapple Worlds is 2 matches rather than 1 match. And it's also a bit of a trek for me down to Oxford, whereas Valhalla's in Bolton, which is a lot more local to me. So it'll be nice to get used to the comp nerves again, doing the comp thing, weighing in, all that sort of stuff, but without like a big build-up of the travel, because to be honest, I hate travelling. So I was like, I couldn't say no to the show though. It's just there's so much good stuff going down south now that I'm like, well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to start traveling, aren't I? But it's nice that I can just have a little bit of a. It's not a practice run because Zara is very much a skilled opponent to be not to be reckoned with. Like
Yeah.
there's all full respect to Zara,
Yeah.
but it's just the kind of show just building up, not too far away, only one match. It just gives me that. I don't know. I think it'll make me feel a bit more
Yeah.
comfortable before throwing myself in down Oxford.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I do love the fact that we're drawing all you northerners down to the south of the country. We will pay the return visit up north soon, I
Oh yes.
promise. But you're talking about your nerves. How are you dealing with all of those things? Whether it's a title match or a competition, what do you do to get yourself prepared and overcome that nervous energy?
Well, I always remember that if you weren't nervous, that you don't care enough, probably. And also nerves are scientifically there to get your heart rate up to make yourself ready for what's going on. However, in the build up, I don't need to
Yeah.
be feeling that anxiety 2 months away. So even though you'll have
Yeah.
like your little pangs of competition soon, I like to just think I'll worry about it when it gets closer. I'll worry about it when it gets closer, and it gets to the day, and it's kind of the same thing. And I'll try and use movement to let go of the nervous energy, and just so almost just remembering that everyone feels the same. You're not the only one. You've felt like this before, and
Yeah.
you was fine. Do you know, it's like the more you compete and the more you feel it, the more it just feels normal and like this is just what happens, this is just how it
Yeah.
works. Whereas I think people get
Yeah.
anxious over their anxiety, and it's realizing
Yes.
that
Completely.
no, you're normal. Because I've had a few girls say to me who I've competed against, say, you look really calm, Amy, when you compete. You look well. And I'm like, I'm shitting myself. Like, you've always got pressure on yourself, even if no one else
Yep.
has. Like, each time
Yep.
you're still feeling it, but it's all about just channeling it in the best way. And if I start going, I'm flapping, then I will mess up. I've got to
Yep.
it's even that fake it till you make it. If you don't feel confident or you don't feel unanxious, you've got to believe that you are and just pretend that you are. And kind of as a result, you end up being more
Yep.
calm and relaxed, and you've got to trick
Yep.
yourself.
Yeah, I think you have. I was talking with Alex on the previous episode, and he had done one match, and the opponent of the next match was injured, and he got his girlfriend to go up and say, "Look, he'll fight again." So at very last minute, wiping the nachos from his mouth, went up and fought again. He did have to tap out, but I kind of like that last minute adrenaline, being invited up to compete. But we all need the preparation um, to kind of build up to these things. How is your training camp going for Valhalla and ultimately Grapple Worlds too?
So it's been pretty good. I have been obviously back training more lifting. I can actually lift weights now, and feeling good. I can invert again and get spinning. So I've been able to just get back into my usual game. Um,
Yeah,
and so the camp's been going good. I've been working on getting some more intense rounds in and things like that. But I'm going to Thailand on Sunday,
yeah.
and I will be spending 2 weeks
Wow.
training at Carlson Gracie for Lang. Might bob into Bang Tao as well.
Good.
Probably do some Muay Thai as well for some fun. But training intensely in 30 odd degree heat, I don't think there's a much better camp for that.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
doing that, then coming back, just getting back onto the usual routine for a couple of weeks until I then have my match with Zara,
Yeah.
then have a week off and keep them rolling. But yeah, training's going good. I've been training with my friend Olivia in Doncaster. I've done loads of training with my friend Ellie Vipond, who I had the match with on Polaris. Since then, me and her have
Good.
become really good friends and started training lots and workshopping stuff together. We're on the NO team together. So yeah, I have been really enjoying it and just been happy to feel like I'm being back to being me, because obviously most grapplers will know grappling becomes your identity. So when you're not grappling
Yeah.
and you're like, who am I? What do I do? So now I just feel like I'm back onto my normal business, and I just feel better in
Good.
myself just because I'm actually able to now start working back towards the goals that I had when I had to put a stop in them for
Yep.
quite a few months. So
Yep.
just trying to pick up that momentum and hopefully
Good.
just keep it carrying on.
I love it. It does absolutely sound like you're on track for this title belt, your first one of your career, and so many amazing things upcoming for the rest of 2026. Amy, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you, and hope to be chatting with you again on some other Jiu
I'm
Jitsu
sure.
podcast upcoming very soon. How can people follow your journey if they're not
So
already?
you can follow at Amy Derwanz on Instagram, but you can also follow at Rollers JJ Yorkshire and Queen Rollers Jiu Jitsu. If you're a lady around Leeds or anywhere, come travel. If you're from down south, travel up to the north. There's nice cheap accommodation in Castleford and Normanton. So get yourself to my camp and let's drink some coffee, have some donuts, and learn how to break each other's limbs together. So yeah, can follow me on Instagram
Nice.
and any of my other pages if you want to see what events I am doing and whatnot.
Fabulous. Right. Just put a shout out for the camp and the dates, Amy, because I'm always there for coffee.
The camp is on the 28th of February to the 1st of March. We've got Clinch, so shout out to Clinch Coffee who's working with us. So I'm not 100% sure on where they're based, but I do know that the profits that they make from the coffee does go back into the Jiu-Jitsu community, supporting young people, which is a big reason as to why I did want to involve them in the camp, as well as my passion for coffee. You can also get a hoodie with a cob design on there for coffee and donuts.
Oh, very good. That's
Chanel's design. So yeah, if anyone wants to come onto the camp, you sign up in my link in my bio on Instagram and Queen Rollers. 1 day's available, 2 days are available. It should just be a good laugh, to be honest. We're going to do some good technique, but it's all about the vibes. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Love it. Love it. I'm going to put a shout out to Leo at Clinch Coffee because he's coming on the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast very, very soon.
Oh, really?
Anyway, Amy, it's been yes,
fantastic.
he is. So you'll have to listen to that
Yeah.
one. It's combining Jiu Jitsu and coffee. I mean, what could be better?
My
really?
dream. It's my dream.
Amy, thank you so much. I wish you all the
Thank you.
success in standing on stage with your new title
you.
belt. We're calling it here.
Oh, yes. Manifestation. It's going to happen.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tell your friends about this show, and as soon as this episode ends, I'd really appreciate you dropping the show a rating and a review. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of the Grapple Worlds podcast.